Welcome to Wing Talk. I'm your host, Steve Schlesinger. There's absolutely nothing going on in the world these days, so we've taken our time now to think of some topics to discuss today. Joining me today from the International Space Station is Mr. Darren Lines.
Hi, Steve. How's it going down there?
It's going fantastic. I've enjoyed my house very much these days. How about yourself?
Yep. There's beautiful views. Lovely weather. No wind.
It's clear up there, huh?
Yeah. Beautiful blue skies.
You got a beautiful
blue and black
there.
skies.
Fantastic. Also joining us from Germany is Mr. Marc Hoffmann. Marc, how's it going?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm doing well, so I'm sitting in my bunker, as we would say here in Germany, and yeah, looking forward to a great talk again today.
I think you have the panic room, as I recall, and Darren has, he was in the abandoned war bunker, and I'm in the fallout shelter here in Southern California. But we have a special guest today joining us all the way from the Netherlands. It is our personal friend and also our first person I tapped in the group to say, help me out, please. I can't believe how fast this thing's growing. I need help. And you're awake when I'm sleeping. So, Arthur, welcome to the show today. Arthur Hendriks.
Yes, thanks, guys. Very nice to be here in this group. Good to see you.
Fantastic.
We talk a lot, we chat a lot, and but we never speak to each other like this. So I don't. Yeah, it's good. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's right. You know, it's kind of interesting. What happened to your beard? You used to have a much bigger beard.
Oh yeah, I shaved it off. How you call it? Yeah. So once in a while, I get enough of the beard, and then the beard goes off, and that's okay. It will grow again. Yeah.
So you are a busy guy, as I recall, because you have a music career as well, right?
Yeah. I'm a composer for film and television series, and I do some sound design for games.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Any games you would recognize, or?
No, not yet. Maybe
okay.
Maybe that will come.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. And you're also, we're going to. Well, the question I have for you is, how long have you been flying RC planes? I know you mentioned at one point you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I think it was the RC planes. Well, radio controlled. That was when I was maybe 11, 12 years old. So that's 40 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you started off the gas planes then?
Yeah, the noisy gas planes and the Cox engines and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, the Bumblebee, the 049s?
Yeah. And the
Screamers,
especially the Screamers. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. And then, so you've been actually, you're like one of the first people I knew you're like the first person I knew who knew how to fly INAV. So I started tapping you for like questions because I saw you in the other groups, and you have these really cool videos with your S800.
Yeah.
And that was a few years ago.
Yeah, that was my first INAV plane actually. Yeah, that's true. And the S800, that S800 was the reason I started to build my own planes.
Yeah, because you kind of don't like that plane, do you?
No, I hate it. That was it flew never stable. It was heavy. It was bulky. It was not my kind of plane. I had it for a long time. Finally, I gave it away, so I never crashed it or demolished it. So I gave it away to a guy who just started in the business, in the hobby, and yeah, the S800 was always waggling, or shaking, and I never could get it right. So even with INAV, all the things, even INAV couldn't get it fly stable. So that's why I said to myself, I can do this better than those Chinese guys.
Yeah, there's like when it comes to that plane, there's this guy Christian Moe out in Norway, who he's built like 6 or 7 of those S800s, probably more by now, but he has a lot of like additions, 3D printed parts to it, make it something that's something stable and flyable. And
Yeah.
he's come up with some cool ideas, but still, it's it's nice because on the one hand, it's cheap and it looks like a plane that people can easily afford to buy.
Oh, yeah.
It takes all your quad parts. It's something that a lot of people like. I think for a lot of quad pilots, it looks like the plane to get.
Yeah. It's a good plane to start with. It's a nice plane. It's not expensive. You can do it. It can handle impacts, so you can do anything you wish with it. But I grew out of that jacket, the S800 jacket, and I wanted to build my own stuff. So yeah.
Right,
Darren has a question for you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, that leads on nicely. I mean, because a lot of people probably know Arthur from the INAV group as being really helpful, and some will probably know, but some might not. Is that Arthur's also the guy behind StealthWings, and you, as you say, you design and build your own wings, and now you sell them. And I was just wondering how you came up with the idea to go into that business.
Well, first, I'm not sure. It started all with the S800, and then I thought it must be a better way to design planes. And I started with hot wire and some templates of airfoils, and then I started to design my own airfoils. And then the Ornit was created in, I think, 2017 or so. I started to make the first prototype of the Ornit, and then I thought, is there a way to buy planes like this here in Europe, flying wings especially, and not the EPO ones, but the EPP ones. But there was nothing here in the Netherlands or in Europe available. So I don't want to wait 3-4 weeks from the boat from China. So I wanted to make them myself, and that was a reason, because there wasn't a market. I thought, maybe I start a market here in Europe and sell planes to everyone who lives in the EU. So that's how it basically starts.
So that's cool. So you started off because you didn't like the S800. You thought you could do better, and then you build it and think, actually, this is brilliant. Other people might want it, and there's no market.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking around, and around that sort of time, 2017, there were 1 or 2 companies in the UK, but they've since disappeared.
Yeah.
So you're probably one of, if not the only, wing builder like this in Europe at the moment.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm the only one. Yeah.
What about there's one other one in Czech Republic, Hacker planes. Is that really is that part of the EU?
I think so. Yeah, but Hacker, isn't that manufacturer of also balsa planes? I'm not sure.
Hacker make all sorts.
Yeah.
Composite and.
They had them here in the States for a little while as the Hacker Hot Wing 1000, Evo 1000, which was a pretty cool plane. We liked that. And then they had a couple other ones, but they had one that was like a 1200 millimeter. And actually, I fly that one quite a bit because it's the only plane I've ever built that followed the instructions. And we took it out on the maiden flight, and the thing split in half because it was just the build quality was so poor. So I learned, that's how I learned how to start modifying planes. But yeah, when you start putting the money down for that, I'm starting to think like, those planes are not cheap. That's like in probably 50, 60 euros there. And for that money, you're better off putting that money towards a better quality plane, like what you're offering. Yeah.
Quality stands, that's mine. It should be, the product must be good. Good product, good quality, good how do you call it? Accessories, not the cheap stuff. Complete, nice kit, good flying, quality stuff.
Yeah, we have that. I noticed that problem with a lot of kits, that they give you the absolute worst stuff. I mean, the control horns, everything is garbage. The control rods, all the linkages, everything is just like the worst they could possibly can be.
Yeah. You don't want to receive a kit like that, so that's I don't want to sell a kit like that. So for me, it should be when I open the box, it should be perfect. It should be high quality. It should be like a present. You open a package of present, and you feel like joy coming over you, like a boy in the candy store, little boy in the candy store. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can say though that we have. Unfortunately, living in the United States, we had a few different manufacturers out here, people who've come along who have done the custom foam. We had a good one out here. The guy just up and quit business one day, like about 8 months ago. But you'd order the wings, and he would just send you the cores and the beds. That was it. And if you asked him nicely, he might tell you where the CG was on it. That's about all the help you would get on that. And you had to figure out how to build the planes yourself. But what I noticed is that when you start to get into custom foam, like what you're talking about here, it's a huge difference because someone's put some time and effort into designing this thing.
Yeah. Oh man! Before now I have a CNC machine. I don't want to cut it by hand. I build my machine, my CNC hot wire cutter myself, and it took ages. It took 6 months to get all the parts and to get everything working. And then, you need to write code and get familiar with all the programs you need to cut the wing exactly as you wish. So yeah, it took some time, but yeah, I have it like I like it now. Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed about the Chinese planes, because I've had quite a few of them, is that there's a few I've come across where I feel like somehow they had to make the wings a little bit smaller in order to fit in the box. So like they've cut along the way, and they're not quite. There's usually something wrong with them. And not all the planes. I mean, AR wing is beautiful, but there are some planes where it's like this is almost perfect if they only had done this more or whatever. And so I kind of feel like some of these planes are really, there's compromises in them. And we had a discussion with Andrew Newton during December, and we went over all the planes, and there were some that were definite hits and there were some that were misses. I mean, like a good example is the Bixler. The Bixler 1 was a great plane. It was a takeoff of a plane from Multiplex, and then all of a sudden the Bixler 2 was even better, and then the Bixler 3 just didn't cut it. Something was wrong about that plane, so we kind of came up with that. But when you come into custom foam wings, it's a very different. The build qualities, as far as type and accessories, the foam is different. So, what kind of foam are you using?
I use the EPP foam, and that's something. Yeah, it's high dense, very elastic, durable. It can handle impacts, and
it easily glues back together.
Yeah, no, it's stiff. It's durable. It's not that it when you crash into something or a tree or something, you have the foam snow. There's no foam snow, so it stays intact, or it's just in halves. That you can glue it together easily, and you can go fly again.
I just have a quick question about your CNC cutter.
Yeah.
So now you've got that set up, is it really quick and easy to jump between different wings, so different airfoils, all that sort of stuff? Is it a lot easier now?
It's easier now. If you have all the parameters set, you can produce. Let's say I have. First you have to get everything right when you have the position, the start position, and the position on the cutting desk. Then it's when one is okay, then the rest will follow. So yeah, I can start every new project. I can start it in a minute. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but before you get there, there's a lot of trial and error. You have to test and develop and test and test again. So before one wing or airplane is ready for sale or to ship and to produce, there goes a lot of time into it to get all the things just right on the spot.
So it sounds like you put a lot of time into testing these planes as well. So is it a lot of designing, building, flight tests, and then maybe going back to the drawing board and making little tweaks?
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. You design, you cut, you glue, you put all your stuff in, you fly it, and if it's not good, you redesign it or you change things, and till it's perfect, and then it's okay, then it's good.
We should. I wanted to ask you about the EPP foam you're using. A lot of planes, you'll notice, even in some flying wings, use EPO foam. So what do you think the advantages are to a quality EPP foam like you're using?
Well, the EPO is easier to mold. If you have a mold, you can fill up the mold with the foam. And EPP, you can do it the same, but to cut EPP, you can almost use it without any lamination. Laminate, you know, the transparent stuff that goes, the foley that goes over the wing. You put it on and makes it hard and stiff.
Right.
It doesn't scatters in 1,000 pieces when you land hard or hit a tree or whatever. It's very good stuff. I prefer it over EPO or EPS or EPX.
Mark, it was the Fury Wing, right? It was the one that turned into confetti you were talking about during Andrew's podcast.
Good question. I'm not sure. No, not the Fury Ring. I'm not sure right now what.
It was the one that had the center pod. Your friend had one, and he crashed it.
No, that was not me.
Oh, is it the one with the carbon frame, centerpiece, the carbon piece?
Ah, the CF Wing. The CF Wing was that where the rings literally went into confetti after he hit some bushes only.
That's EPO foam. That was the problem with that plane. And that plane is actually, it's sold under a few different names. So the Fury Wing and then the CF Wing, and so it seems like someone made a bunch of these planes and just repackaged it for different manufacturers.
Yeah.
So that's
what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's better to go with an EPP quality EPP foam plane. Like the Air Wing is a smooth EPP foam.
Yeah. It's more durable. It can handle more impact, and it's a little bit heavier than the EPO, but it's more durable. Yeah, I like that.
But the only one that I know of, a couple wings that stand out for the EPO that are the Wing Wingers, tends to be a pretty nice little plane, and the not the HD one, the other one.
C1 Chaser's EPO.
Thank you, Darren. C1 Chaser. Yeah, those tend to be pretty good. They're not quite as durable as an EPP foam plane. So tell me, where does your planes come in? Is this a first build plane or is this a second build plane?
For what do you mean?
For somebody who's starting off, we usually, how soon should they jump into getting a custom?
Advanced? Yeah. You need to have some skills of the EPO, the planes that come from China. There you assemble them. You put everything together, but the wings I produce. Yeah, you need to build them. So you need to cut the fiberglass spars. You need to cut them into the wing, glue them into the wing, and there's some extra work. And it's almost custom building what you do.
Okay, so that's a good point. The idea is like your first wing, somebody is coming into the hobby. They usually start off with an S800 or an AR wing, or maybe something. So you start off with the Chinese planes, if you can get them, and now they're starting to be kind of in short supply. You start off with one of those planes, and you get the idea of how to put a plane together, and you also trash it quite a bit, and get to a point where you finally have to get rid of it, and you're ready for, you get another one, and all of a sudden you keep that one together, and you fly it for a while, and then you want to upgrade, and that's when they should go to your plane, right?
Yeah. That's the idea. But I know people who for example, dynamic. It's what is it? 45 centimeters, 50 centimeters wingspan. A little bugger. I call him a little bugger. There are people who started into the hobby and bought that one, and they still flying with it. So yeah, it all depends.
Yeah,
you can do it. You can fly with it. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm watching a guy at the moment, Dave Hogg, is building your spec wings at the moment.
Yeah.
And the process, it's a bit more advanced than the Chinese just glue together planes. But if you can do that, I think it's not a massive leap to doing a stealth wing.
Yeah.
And you will get a much better quality plane at the end of the day.
Yeah. The assembly or the build, I keep that as simple as possible. So that everyone can build it.
Yeah,
so
that's nice instructions and.
It has an instruction manual, and there's a manual online who can guide you step by step through the build, and there's no way you can miss a step, and at the end you have a perfect built plane.
Okay. Well, I've seen there's some of yours behind you. They're obviously painted. Do you have a process before painting them? Like with I think it's the right wing, they say use the 3M90 beforehand. Is there a similar process with yours?
Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I have dynamic. Dynamic doesn't need any laminate. I should get them somewhere. This is dynamic, and it doesn't have any lamination on it. There's nothing on top. So it's better for this to keep the paint on, to paint it with the what is it? That 39M90, and there's from I think Bison has the same spray. Contact adhesive in the market. You spray it, and then after that, when it's more or less dry, you paint it like you wish.
Oh yeah, so you brought that up. That's a good point. The when you get to EPP foam, you can direct paint them. EPL foam, if you put spray paint on it, will eat right through the foam.
Oh yeah. Now EPP is much more durable for almost any kind of paint.
So your process is you first spray on like 3M Super 77, and then you put the paint over the top of that?
Yeah. And then maybe laminate, or sometimes I don't spray the glue, and then I spray the paint and then laminate. It depends. But if you want to have it a good stock, then you use the glue, use the spray glue, and paint it afterwards.
Interesting. I've never heard that before. I usually just spray and then put the spray first.
The EPP foam is a bit, I'll call it greasy, greasy, not greasy, but greasy-like. It's not like EPO or EPX. So you need to sand it very good, and after that you spray your paint, or your glue, so that the paint will stick on the glue.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about EPP foam, especially like the rough EPP foam, is there are peaks and valleys in it. And if you do like a really, really good job of putting like 5 or 6 coats of paint on EPP foam, you'll never quite fill the valleys in, but the plane gets a lot heavier.
Yeah, that's true. More paint is more and more weight, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to make certain, like if you're painting, and just not put a lot of, I limit it to like 2 coats of paint at most, or 3 maybe.
Yeah, max, yeah.
So then light coats. So you want to, your planes are white when they come out. When they ship,
they're white. But I cut them that it's almost as the surface is almost as like paper like. So they're
oh wow.
Yeah, so you don't have the valleys and all the other how do you call it, the
peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys.
Yes.
So
yeah,
ready to paint or ready to glue and paint or whatever you want, ready to laminate. First sand it with sandpaper, sanding paper, and after that lam over it with the iron, and it's as strong as.
What kind of lamination are you talking about?
I have the what is it, the 3 mil, 15 mil lam, and that you can it goes by the meters, and I put enough lam in the box to get it on the wing.
Perfect.
You laminate, you can use it. You can cut it on how do you say? You cut it for the size of the wing, and you can iron it on the EPP.
Okay, so let's go down the list of these planes that we discussed, how we're going to discuss these and bring them up. The first one is it the Omith? It's a split flat plane, Ormith.
The Ornit, yeah. The idea was to use the split flaps. I designed split flaps like these.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want. I removed on this plane. I removed the winglets, but it's not for this purpose, but because it's way too small. But on the Ornit, I want to put on the tips the air brakes, or not air brakes. It's drag rudders. And then I can, just like the Northrop B2 wing, flying wing bomber, it flies. Normally it flies with the flaps like this, always. Okay. And the flaps, they generate drag on the wingtips, and therefore it's more stable on the yaw axis.
Interesting.
And I thought maybe this is the way for model wings to have the same effect. So you can get rid of the wingtips, the winglets, and build these in. And when you open these more, let's say the left and the right are the opposite, you can make turns on the yaw, and that means maybe you can do your knife edge with a wing. And that was a nice idea, and I thought.
Let's get into it. Let me ask you, the Ormith, how big is this plane?
The prototype is 115 meters, and the Ornit, there will be two sizes, 1 meter and 20, and there will be a 1 meter and 50 centimeters big wing. So, yeah, the 150 is pretty big. Yeah.
So 1.2 meter and 1.5 meter.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.5.
That's a huge plane, the 1.5 meter.
Yeah. I like to build that one. I like to build it.
So you have the prototype going right now?
No, not yet. It's ready to rock, but there are a few other projects running, so I have to finish them one by one before I start with that one. Yeah.
We got a question. Mark, go ahead. So
the Ornith, despite his size, seems to be more like a cruiser, right?
Yeah, the 150 will definitely a cruiser, long range plane. The 120 also, but I want to have also the option to make it a race wing to get higher speeds with different kind of motors, and yeah, that's the idea.
So like an X class in race rings.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what size of battery you would recommend? So what's the optimal battery rate, for example?
The rate, you mean the C's or yeah?
No, the rate, the rate, the mass of the battery.
The weight.
Yeah.
Okay, the weight. Yeah, all depends. There are people who are putting 3300 milliamps lipos in it, and that's also possible for the 120 and 150. It's all up to you, all up to the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. Should bring
good
flight
times. 3S or 4S.
Yeah. And all depends 3S, 4S. It all depends on what's the purpose of the plane. If you get long range, you have a low kV motor with a big prop. You can do it on 3S 5500, for example. And if you want to have speed, you can go 4, 6S with a smaller prop and a different kind of motor.
So what kind of motors are you talking about for these planes, for the Ormith?
For the Hornet, I have in mind the T motor. There's a new motor which came out. Is the sport motor. Do I have it here?
Mark, you familiar with this motor?
Depends what T-motor. I have no T-motor yet, but I will get some soon, but only quad motors, but I never tried a ring T-motor yet.
Yeah, this is a big motor. This is the 2814 sport motor, 2000 kV. So
Wow.
that's a big screamer, let's say. But yeah, I want to build a twin racer on 1.2 meters, and that one will have 2 of these on it. So that will be a monster.
Yeah,
Wow.
4S 7-inch prop, then go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to get close to all the limits and see how much it can handle. Yeah, build new stuff because the T-Trax is a twin racer and I have it in 800 millimeters, and there will be a version of 1.1 or 1.2. Not I didn't decide it yet, but more or less that. And yeah, the T-Trax is my favorite plane. It's silent. It's very fast.
We're going to get to that in a couple minutes. It's on the
Yeah.
list.
Okay.
So before we move off the Ormith, any other questions, Darren? Any questions about the Ormith?
No, I think it's all been covered. Obviously, you can buy it from StealthWings store,
Yeah.
and it's obviously been well developed and well tested.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
putting it to the limits.
Yeah, the Hornet is still in development. I have the prototype. All the best stuff comes in. All the best ideas. I will put in the 120 Hornet, and that will be after the release of the Wukong. And Wukong is a 900 millimeter wing. I'm developing right now, and it's an easy wing, a nice entrance wing to start with, and you can use INAV on it. And after that, it's almost finished. And after that, that's this one. This is the Wukong. It's 900 millimeters,
Okay.
and it has the stealth mount. And I have different mounts for it for different motors.
Okay. We're going to talk about that one too. Next one on the list is the Nemec.
Dynamic.
Yes. What size is Mark's probably showing a photo of it right now? What size is this plane?
It's almost 50 centimeters, 51 centimeters. Yeah, wingspan.
So it's a small plane, 500
Yeah,
centimeters.
it's a very small plane. It's like this.
Okay. Wow.
This is the size. Half a
Okay.
meter. Yeah.
So the big question is it sub 250?
Yeah, it's this one sub 250. Yeah.
Wow. Check
Yeah.
this out. Because that's really hot right now. It's the sub 250 planes.
Yeah,
you
I
built
have
this-
I have even the Hendricks is more or less dynamic without the centerpiece and some differences. And I can have that one with a 3S on 124 grams, and it's almost as fast as dynamic.
Fantastic. So is this one, have you gotten this flying with FPV, with INAV, a flight controller? I mean, that's a pretty small plane.
Dynamic. There's no flight control in, but I have FPV. It's an FPV racer, and I had the idea to put INAV on it, but I thought maybe it's getting too heavy with all the stuff, so that's why I made the Wukong. And the
Also,
Wukong is also
challenge accepted.
I mean, yeah, there's like this guy we have in San Diego in the group, David Story. I mean, he lives for this kind of stuff, making small planes. And so his answer for every small plane is always the F405 Mini.
Yeah.
And there's also that newer one that was the, have you seen this flight controller? It's the F411. It was the one with the three letters
the
after.
SE, the WSE. I have him ever have laying around that board. And I thought 1 second, I thought about putting it into dynamic, but then I thought maybe it's that's it.
Mark showing.
Maybe
Mark, you showing it? Here we go.
But
yeah, so it's a very.
Then I decided to put that one in the small T-Trex, the twin racer, and I didn't finish that one because there are too many projects running. But the idea was to put it in this one here in the T-Trex. And it fits nicely. It fits perfect. So
Mark has committed himself to getting this Nemec and putting that small flight controller in it, right?
Yep, I think I'll do that.
You can do it, Mark.
Okay.
I'm sure you can do it.
And he's gonna put like lithium-ion batteries in, and the thing will fly for like 3 weeks at a time. He's gonna fly it over to Darren's house in London, and then fly back.
Nice, wave back, and cool.
It's like because the Mark's kind of big right now on that small plane. The which one is that? That is the Dart, the mini Dart.
The Dart 250G.
250G. What?
The 250G, yeah.
So how long have you got that thing to fly for?
The longest flight I had yet was 1 hour exactly, but I aborted the test. It was on lithium-ion batteries, but I aborted the test because it went 7 p.m. a few days ago and yeah, it was getting freezing cold and I didn't want to fly anymore. But my cruise voltage on the battery was still at 3.48 volts roundabout on lithium-ion, so nearly half the battery was left after 1 hour of flight.
Wow.
And it was just a 2,700 milliamp hour battery in there, two salvaged old lithium-ion cells from a laptop battery, and I will get soon some 3,500 milliamp hours batteries from a friend, and I think 2 hours is possible with that plane.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
It's sub 250. Are you still getting sub 250 or is it a little over 250?
With the lithium ions, it's about 254, 255 grams. The problem I have is I decided for a high power VTX. It's a 20 by 20 millimeter stack AKK FX3 VTX in there, and the VTX in the antenna is about 6 grams. Plus the camera in the front. If I would use an all-in-one cam, then I think I should be able to reach the 250 grams with lithium ion.
I don't think like the extra 5 or 6 grams, like the people are standing around weighing your planes. It's close enough to the concept.
Yeah, I think so. I think if someone want to control me or so, they will say, okay, it's very light. It may be under the 250 gram mark.
But it's impressive. So you're committing yourself to taking this Nemec, which is a 550 millimeter wing, and putting some small flight controller and INAVing that. It'd be kind of fun to play with that.
Oh, I'm sure it can be done. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark is the guy who can do it because he likes doing crazy projects like that. Well, the next one is the Terryx, TerYx.
Yeah.
I don't. These are Dutch names. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right.
Actually, they come from they are all prehistoric birds.
Oh, okay. Prehistoric
all names
birds.
Of the Wukong. The Wukong is a Wukongopteriade. This is how do you call it? They are from the Psirosaurus, if I spell it correct. And the Nemicolopterus and the Ornithoaurus, all those names come from prehistoric birds. That's why
okay.
They come the names from. Yeah.
That's cool.
So the Terryx, what is this plane about? Mark's probably showing a photo of it right now.
Yeah. I have it here.
I'm pretty impressed about the description on the website that you can build it below 100 grams. So
yeah, I had it on 89 grams. This one, 89 grams. Super 2S light motor, super small. But I put another motor on, and because I want to fly this on 3S. But this is 124 with the 3S. What is it? 850 milliamps.
I have to say, just the 2S battery I have in my Dart 250 right now rates about 97 grams. Just the battery.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. This is this is the lighter foam than all the other stuff I'm using. This is the, what is it? They call it 20 grams per liter. In America, they use the LBS. It's different, 1.5 or 1.7. I'm not sure how they call it.
Usually in the United States, we have 1.3 and 1.9 gram.
Then
pounds.
it's 1. Then it's the 1.3 for the Hendricks. That's
Okay,
the more softer EPP, more
so
light.
you're using 1.3 as opposed to 1.9. Are you using 1.9 in other planes, like the one we just covered, the Ormith?
The Ornit will be in. I'm not sure if I do it because the whole thing is you can build the Ornit in the ultra light foam, but then you need to get it durable and stiff enough to fly it. And then you need to build in more spars. You need to use more glue and all that stuff. And at the end, you have the same weight as when you use the high dense foam, like the 30 grams or the 1.9 foam. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe I will use parts made out of the softer foam, and some parts are more the durable foam. I'm not sure yet.
That's kind of a big deal you're talking about, because I happen to have a little experience with these different foams. The 1.9 foam is what I've discovered is very hard to first of all get someone who would actually make a plane with it, but I actually have one wing that's made out of 1.9 foam, and it's very durable. It's very dense. It's a really good quality foam. So if you're using that, that is really, my hat's off to you.
I'm not. It's still a specific size. If you go over the 150 or bigger, then it will become very heavy, and then you gotta think about other make another plan, or maybe use parts of the lighter foam. But because if you have a big plane, let's say 2 meters, and you make it out of the 1.3 foam, then it's easier and still lighter to build in more spars and more glue than when you build it totally made out of the 1.9 foam.
The next plane we're going to talk about is, oh wait, question. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's no worries. I was just thinking, we mentioned earlier that quite a few guys may be coming over from quads. So with the Nemec mainly, I guess, and possibly the Hendricks, can people use quad parts when building those planes?
Yes,
for like motors and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is a quad motor. This is an Emax. What is it? On this one is an Emax, I think 1108, and on this one there's the F20 from Timo, the F20 version 2, I think, with a 3-inch prop. And what is it? I think it's the RS 30Ms from the Bell Haley ESC from Racer Star. Yeah. So you can build it with the parts of quad parts. It's easy, and just one motor, one ESC, and you're off to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The next one, I'm going to throw Darren on the spot because let him answer this question. Introduce this plane. It's a spec wing, and so there's a concept behind the spec wing, and I'm thinking Darren can explain it pretty well.
Well, yeah, there's a racing league. I believe it's the WRA league in America, and they have basically it's guidelines for a wing with the maximum sweep weights, wingspan, all that kind of thing. So everyone is basically on the same playing field. So you can only run 2200 3S.
Yeah.
There are currently, I believe, 3 official motors that you can use. And to be honest, ever since Arthur started building his, I've been intrigued because the motor mount just is a work of art, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, Arthur, could you tell us more about your spec wing, which I'll probably be buying?
Yeah. Well, I had to stay within the specs of the airplane, and what I noticed, and that was also a bit concerning. Those planes, those race wings, produce a lot of noise, and that noise is energy. And what I thought is, you can put it that you change that that noise into energy, positive energy. So if you eliminate the noise of the propeller making on the with the trailing edge, if you eliminate or get it lower, then that's more efficient for the whole airplane.
Yeah, because obviously where it's a specific set of rules and specifications, the more efficient you can get your plane, the lighter you can get your plane within those rules, potentially the faster you can be. But yeah, if people don't know, it's the dirty air coming off of the wing is interacting with the propeller.
Yeah.
So by putting those two scallops in, that's what's really helping reduce that. And as you say, wasted energy is now being used as thrust.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's lovely design. Lovely design.
Yeah,
it shows up like that. I thought, that must be the solution for the whole problem of the wings, and because of all the FAA rules that you can't fly. That there are limitations are coming for flying your airplane. If you produce less noise, you don't bother less. You won't bother too many people.
That's good.
Yeah,
Mark has a question.
Yeah, I have already seen that massively on my AR-ring setups. I had some Sunny Sky motors in the beginning when I flew the AR-ring the first time, or when I set it up the first time, and then I switched to an ARB motor that is bigger, but it's shorter because it's a quad motor and not a ring motor, with a shorter base, and the plane went so much louder than before, and I didn't had a big airspeed advantage, so I decided to cut out the fuselage a little bit to get the prop further away from the fuselage, and immediately the sound level dropped, and also the efficiency raised. I think I didn't notice any difference in the top speed, but I think it was because I was already maxed out at the RPM and the propeller pitch, and the plane was very streamlined already. So I was close to the max airspeed of the propeller anyway. But the efficiency really raised at the end, and now I managed to get my long-range AR ring with a little, I think 10 millimeters or 12 millimeters motor standoff I made just to move the motor further back with the Sunny Sky motor, and I managed to get it flying at 2.5 amps on 3S. So I just need about 25 watts or so to keep it in the air with the same airspeed as before, when I was using 4S at 2.5 amps.
Cool.
It's pretty impressive how much difference that makes, especially if you see some people with the Caipirinha 2, for example, or with an mini drag. You always see that the motors are so deep into the fuselage. They put it way forward because they use heavy motors and they need to fit the CG. But then the props sometimes are only 10 or 20 millimeters from the fuselage array, and these things scream like hell. Very loud.
That's what's happening.
So I guess the concept is on these. There's this guy IB Crazy, he's a YouTube vlogger who kind of promotes the whole spec wing concept, and his idea was that we're only going to have, for race wings, it's only going to have a tight well, he was bitching like some people would show up with better quality parts and they'd always win the races because they could afford the better quality parts. So he said, enough. There's an international standard. We're going to have just be like this. This is the design of the wing. These are the motors you can use. And so the idea is everyone's on an equal footing.
Yeah, yeah.
But now you're starting to be on equal footing, but you've somehow got a little bit more thrust out of that with the and quiet the sound down a little bit with those wings, with your wing design.
Hopefully they have to race it still. Nobody raced it yet, so hopefully it works positive. Yeah, I believe it should work. But the FPV WRA also are busy because they say the plans for, but it all depends of what the FAA will say at the end. But the idea was to only racing with a molded spec wing. So everyone has the same wing, same motor, same battery, same kind of battery, same ESC. So everyone has the same stuff. So that it all depends on how the pilot is racing the track and racing his plane. So that's the idea for the future. So I have no idea how it will be yet. Yeah.
You're keeping up the FAA. Are you referring to the NPRM and how that's going to play out?
Yeah, well, maybe it's not when the FAA says it's not possible to race, or you need to, what regulations they
I see what you're saying.
They use. There will be no racing anymore. I have no idea, and they have no idea either.
Yeah, right now the FAA is going to have to come up with their whole thing about remote ID. I think it's going to be kind of quieted down here over the next year or two because of what's going on in the world. And I miss the old days, like 3 weeks ago when we were bitching about the FAA. But what I think is going to happen is that you're going to see what part of the plan with remote ID is they're going to have to go to Congress and ask for a lot of money. And I don't see that happening right now. Yeah. That's a big expense with not a lot of value coming out of it. Other than the private industry might come up and have to pay for all the things they want to do. Plus, there's a lot of things going on with the FCC, getting the channels. That's years and years away. And after what's happening now, it's even further away. I'm saying it's probably till the end of the decade before you'll really see something come out with that. So enjoy flying for now. I mean, chances are you'll buy a plane, fly it, crash it, and buy another plane from you and treat that one a little better.
Yeah. We will see. We will see what the future brings.
Yeah. Fantastic. The next one is the one you're all excited about. It's the T-Trax.
Yeah. The T-Trax, yeah. Well, if we are talking about StealthWings and silent wings, this one is very stealthy. Yeah.
Wow.
This one is the T-Trax, and yeah, I'm very happy about it, how it turned out, and
so I'm seeing a V-tail, a twin.
V-tail, yeah, twin.
What's
tractor.
the wingspan?
Yeah, twin tractor, and is silent. It's so silent and it's so fast. Nobody notices it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that 1.2 meter or is that?
No. It's this one is 800.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks bigger than it is actually. It's
and you've taken that out flying.
It's a nice size.
And Mark has a question about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say it's very silent. Was it the purpose of this build to get a silent plane, or was it just by accident?
No. That was the idea was to build a silent plane. Yeah.
Okay, because
and silent planes are the tractors are silent planes, and I did a great job on the stealth mount. Eliminates a lot of noise, propeller noise, by a pusher. But the tractor is everyone knows that the tractor is more silent than a pusher.
Yeah.
And I want to race, and I want to do FPV. I want to go fast. And then the twin showed up.
Yeah, sounds very interesting. I was pretty impressed when I got my Dart 250G in the air, because even that it's a push-up plane, if I put the small 3x5" prop on it, it's very strange prop size with 5" pitch and 3" diameter. And on 3S, it's also so silent, even on full throttle. I think in a distance of 70 or 80 meter, you can't hear it anymore. But the two-bladed prop, the 5x5" for the 2S setup, it's much louder. But then the most noise is coming from the ESC because of the lower voltage. The ESC noise is much more than before, so it's like a very loud buzzing noise.
Oh yeah,
Not only the prop itself.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So it's a small plane, 800 millimeters, but is this more for like relaxed FPV where you can just take it out and fly around and enjoy it?
Yeah, you can take it out, put it on your arm or in your backpack, and you go out on your bike or in your car or whatever, and you just put the battery in and go for it. Yeah, it's easy. No setup, no difficult stuff.
What kind of batteries does it take?
It takes a 3S 2200 milliamps LiPo.
Okay. Yeah,
and it flies for 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
Okay, so 5 or 6 minutes with
Yeah. What's the wingspan?
80 centimeters.
Pretty big battery for such a small plane.
Yeah, because it has a short nose. This part, the final design will have a longer nose. It's a short nose, you see. Will we have a longer nose? What is it? 2 centimeters longer. And there's a 3D printed part on the back. This part is 3D printed. So it was also a challenge to get it strong but light. And yeah, that makes the whole thing a bit challenging. So the final design will be a somewhat longer nose. So the battery goes just a tiny bit more further in front. And yeah, that's the whole thing. It's all millimeters. When you have a small plane, a change of some millimeters is crucial for the effect of flying. And when we have a bigger airplane, you can shift and you can do anything. But on a smaller plane, you need to make a compartment where the battery fits in it, what size of battery and what's the position, where you put it. So it was quite a challenge, but the results are very promising.
Yeah, sounds
so
great.
4 or 5 minutes on the 2200. I guess there's not a lot of non-full throttle on that. It sounds like you're flying it quite.
Yeah,
well, 3 quarters. I sometimes get full throttle, but I found out that the motors on this one are very efficient. Yeah. It was a surprise. It was silent, and you can fly it extremely fast. And
What motors are you using right now on this plane?
On this one is the F40 Pro 3. Maybe you can see it. And it's a quad motor, T motor, F40 Pro 3, version 3. And on this one I have this one is the 6" but I also flew it on this one with a 3-bladed prop, 5" from T motor. It flies, it goes as fast as lightning.
Sounds great.
So one thing I thought about with that plane is are you potentially thinking about making a bigger version that may be better as a cruiser rather than a speed plane?
That's what I was thinking,
especially still being silent.
Yeah. The idea for the small one, I want to race it, and for the bigger one, that will be a cruiser, a silent, stealthy cruiser. So nobody sees you and nobody knows that you're up in the air, and that's what I like.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing that design. Okay, the last plane that you have we're going to discuss today is something called the Wukong.
The Wukong, yeah, the Wukong.
Wukong.
Yeah, the Wukong. I was thinking there's no. I have no something in the middle. I have the Namek. I have the Hornet. The Namek is a small one. You have the Hornet for 120 and up, and there's nothing in between because a lot of guys out there and girls who like to fly the 800 to 900 wingspan wing, nice size, small, big enough. So I decided to get a wing size like that, and there must be prepared for INAV. So that's what I did. A wing specially for INAV, a fast flying wing. It's a silent mount and a special mount for different sizes motors. So there will be, you can put a small motor in it. You can put, a 30 millimeter, 35, up to 38 millimeter motors.
Wow.
And then I have the special, I don't know if you can see it, but I found out that when you land your bird, you can see it here. When you land it, there's always dirt coming in your motor when you land your flying wing in the mud or anything. And I put a skid on the bottom, so there's no dirt or sand or stuff going into the motor.
Yes, so that's a great size. I mean, let's just go down the list one more time. You've got something in the 450 millimeter and 500 millimeter range. Was that the Namek, right?
The Namek, yeah. The 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is specialized. That's something for more. That's probably, even though it's small and people think that small planes are easier to fly, that's something that's probably. Yeah.
No, this one is you can fly it easy, but if you try to learn fly a wing or a plane, choose a bigger one. It's easier to learn how to fly. This one is the Namek is nice to bash around when you know how to fly an airplane remotely.
Right. So that's probably like your third or fourth plane, not your first plane.
Yeah, as I said, there are people who building them and fly them as the first wing or airplane, and yeah.
And when you get to the one of the Hornet, that's the 1.2 or 1.5 meter planes. 1.5 is a huge wing. I actually have one. It is a very big plane, and so 1.2 is kind of like on the cusp of just being something that's manageable.
Yeah.
And this is like a great size because, for example, it's the same size as the AR wing. I mean, everyone knows what that is.
Yeah.
So this would be something, but what you're talking about with this plane is you say you have a mount on there that can take a variety of motors, and you're going through. You're mentioning the size of the motors, but what is like an ideal prop size and motor for that plane?
I think it's a lower. All depends what you want to do with it. You can do a long range flight with it, and you can put in a smaller motor. You can build it light. You can use a smaller motor with a lower KV, a bigger prop. Then you can relax long range for a long time. But you can race it, and then you can choose a bigger motor with more KV and a smaller prop. And another kind of another battery. It all depends what you want to do with it.
What's the largest prop you've had on that plane so far?
I think it can handle. I think it can handle a 9-inch would be max for this size. Yeah, and then maybe a 780, 790 kV motor.
Wow. You're putting that.
But the Wukong for that size, for the 900 size, 100 size, I would fly it fast with INAV, and also with the capability of going further than further away.
Okay, so what's its all-up weight when you get this? You've flown with it so far, because some of these motors you're talking about are really heavy. If you're going to be putting fat motors in the back, you're putting a lot more weight in the front.
Yeah.
So,
I measured I measured it with all the components, and I think it was a 4S battery, 2200. I think it was around the 700-800 grams, under a kilo.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty light, even though you have it's a 4S battery. Is that a 4S 1.3 or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so cool. That is definitely, it's a step up plane, especially if you have like an AR wing and you like that size and you want to try some custom foam. That might be a really
then the Wukong would be a nice plane for that. Yeah.
right. And then if you want to experiment with larger planes mean larger possibilities as far as putting in larger motors, bigger propellers, longer flight times. If you wanted to do long range FPV, something like an Ormith would be better for that, right?
Yeah. For the Ornith, the 120 is a very nice plane to put everything you want in it. You can build it light, you can build it heavy, you can use it as a long range to stay in the air for hours, and you can use it for a quick, for a fast plane. Yeah. The bigger the plane, the more possibilities you have, the more flexible you are.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mark, how long have we been talking so far?
We are just 6 minutes, about 1 hour.
Okay. So this is like a good amount of time to talk. I wanted to just ask you guys not to discuss what's going on in the world right now, but what's going on in your personal world. I know, Mark, you're working from home.
Yeah, I'm working. Yeah, I have just some issues with unmuting my mic sometimes. Yeah, I'm working from home right now because of the situation everyone knows. So I take my time to catch up with some series on Netflix. And yeah, also I use the extra free time I have, because I don't have to go to work every day, to optimize some of my planes. Just recently I had to repair my AR ring after that crash I posted in the group, where I had an RX loss, and I messed up because I forgot to check the phase safe if it worked after I switched my radio. Yeah, I did some optimization on my Talon GT, and now I'm waiting for the new batteries for my long range AR ring and my Dart 250G.
Hey, before I forget, there's somebody who wrote in this morning. He mentioned that he has a CNC machine. I think he's here in the United States, and he's offering to cut CNC foam for people for their like custom foam wings for about $3 a sheet. So he's on the hanger sale. If you look at the hanger sale at the very bottom, he was talking about it, and I asked if he could post it, and said sure, and I would give him a shout out. So give him a shout out. But back to you. Are you everything okay with you? Getting enough food? Toilet paper not in short supply and all that good stuff?
Yeah, everything is fine here. As everywhere, for some reason, the toilet paper is empty in any store, but I have enough left.
Okay,
so
great.
That's totally fine here.
We got plenty. You can come on over anytime if you need to.
So you are the guys who are responsible for all the distribution for toilet, huh?
Oh God, it was like the funniest thing was like I started seeing we had enough for like maybe 3 weeks or so, but I was starting to freak out a bit because I knew like we're gonna run out. So I went to the stores, there were none, and finally there was like a case. I went online and found the last case that I can buy. It had 80 rolls in it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this and I can split it with somebody. So I put an order in, and they said it's going to show up in a week or two. And I'm like, it might not show up for weeks. I don't know. And then literally when it showed up in my house, my wife calls me from the store. She said, I found toilet paper. And I'm like, we just have what are you talking about? We have 80 rolls that just showed up here 5 minutes ago. And she's like, well, I don't like that stuff. So send it back. I'm like, we can't send it back because the stuff is in short supply. So I literally put it up on our community page, like, I got toilet paper. Who wants to buy some? Yeah. And within like 20 minutes, people were showing up buying toilet paper from me. I had the whole thing sold by the next morning. So yeah, it's been a little bit crazy.
Why is that? Why is the toilet paper thing? I don't understand anything about anything of it. I have no idea why people are We in Holland we call it hamstring. We call hamsters. You know the hamsters who collect all the nuts and stuff for the winter.
Yeah.
You know, back in school, when we used toilet paper or kitchen towels to make some air balloons and then put it with glue around them to make sculptures or so. Maybe we can build planes with that.
maybe.
Paper mache, huh? Fantastic.
Yeah, we have to wait till it restocks.
Yeah. So it's all right. So things are okay in Marc's world. About Darren, what's going on with you there?
Not much has changed, in all honesty. Other than staying indoors more, but I still got to go to work tomorrow, so nothing really has changed other than the shops are empty, which is a bit annoying. But what can you do about it? Yeah. But yeah, I've got a lot of things to keep me busy if they do lock us in. So yeah, it's looking all right. Healthy, which is the main thing.
You're healthy. That's a good thing, and that you've got lots of quality time with your wife, right?
Oh yeah, and lots of I've got lots of servos that I'm going to start testing, and that's my main focus with RC at the moment. Is I'm going to build a better test rig to test some servos and put some videos up.
Fantastic, Arthur. What's going on there in the Netherlands?
There's a lot of extra work because the kids are home, and the kids are not at school. So I'm a teacher. And my wife is a teacher because she's also working from home. Then I have my business and I have my other business. It was luckily on a lower level. The music business is a bit on a lower level, so that's kind of good. So yeah, it's you have to how do you call it? Equal amount of time shared with all the participants.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's
hard.
Busy days. Yeah.
You have young children, right?
Yes, 4.
Oh gosh.
4 of them.
How old are they?
They're 3, 6, 8, and 10.
Oh my god, 4 kids and 10 and younger.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane. God. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wait. It's
Yeah, I already told in the chat in the beginning of the stream that I realized that the Skype call quality is much worse than during the last streams, and we also have some issues with Skype for Business. I think they are preserving bandwidth. They are pretty much overloaded right now because all the people that are not able to meet their family and friends and all that stuff, I think they all do Skype calls right now, and I think Microsoft has also busy time right now. Handling all that.
All right, so we're going to probably wrap this up pretty soon so we don't take it too much bandwidth from other people. But I live in California, and we have, it's, if you look at the United States, most of the populations are on the coast. So you'll find that people live in California, New York, and then we have some big cities like Chicago, which is in the middle of the country, and then Texas, which is also the middle of the country, but south. And so, but we look at, like, for example, Los Angeles County, it's larger. They have a larger population than half of the states in the United States. So it's just, we have a huge density. So because of that, I'm just, they're asking us, they call, in Los Angeles, they call it safer at home. And the idea is that you're supposed to stay inside, and you can go out for walks, you can go out for a bike ride, but for the rest of the time, you're supposed to be indoors. And I decided, like, I could go out and fly. Maybe I can get away with it, but it's the kind of thing where people will go out and take photos and videos of me flying, and then they'll post it on our local social media, and then everyone would be hating on it. So if I do go out and fly, I have to go far away, away from people. And so, for me, what this looks like is more downtime for just working on the hobby, working on the planes. And that's one message I want to get across to everybody is let's just, with the time, take this time and do productive things with it. Work on your planes, learn new skills. Like, for example, I was thinking the other day, I want to learn more about just how the stations, like the station Mark was building. Oh, and also watch Mark's videos. Yes, the stations, like I wanted to learn more about long range FPV, and I know Darren, for example, there's a certain plane of yours that's been sitting in a box for a number of years.
Yeah, since October 2017, that mini Talon's been in a box.
Oh, I have 2 of them sitting in the same year. Yeah, all 2017. Yeah, still waiting. Almost finished. It's up there. It's up there. By the way.
Yeah, I can see a few of the.
Everything is in it. I need to program INAV and all those few little things, and then I can do the maiden. But yeah, too busy.
Yeah, I've got another 2 boxes up there with F5B planes I still need to build. Yeah, there's lots of little projects lying around that I can get on with. So
yeah,
if we do get locked in, I can get on with lots. It'd be quite cool. Yeah, but your situation, Steve, it sounds like you need a StealthWing, so then people won't hear you flying and won't go out and take photos.
I built you one. I cut you one.
You cut me a T-Track 1.2 meter. That'd be perfect. Yeah. We can put 2 Air Bs on the front of that and make Mark happy. That's his favorite motor. Yeah, there's I have enough projects to keep me going here for the next 5 or 6 years. If I don't fly another plane for 5 or 6 years, I can still keep building or fixing the planes that need to be modifying and things like that. But I think the healthiest thing that we can do right now is actually turn off the news and kind of get back to the family, get back to our planes, also, I talk about structure because I'm trying to help people out, and some of my friends with this. I kind of mentioned, like, there are a lot of people I know in my neighborhood who are not used to not waking up every morning and going to work, and so it's a new world for them. And some people do better than that than others. So, kind of like, don't spend your whole day working on just one plane. Maybe you spend a few hours and space it out, and spend some time cleaning your closet, spend some time watching YouTube videos. Doing those kind of things will definitely help you out. And that's how I plan to go about with this time. You got any ideas about yourself, Arthur, or what you're going to do differently with this? Well, you don't have any time, right?
No, I don't have any time. No. It takes up every second of the day. So no, I never get bored.
There's 4 of us here, so we all have different life experiences going on right now. For example, Mark is single. Darren's married, but no kids, right?
No kids, yeah.
Okay. I'm married, but my kids are older. I have twins, and they're 23 right now, so I don't have to homeschool them.
No.
One of them works at Disneyland, so she's been on furlough. I never thought I'd see the day that Disneyland closed down for more than a day, but it has. And then we've got Arthur, who has 4 kids under 10 and younger, so
yeah.
So
Happy
we got
day.
our hands full.
Yeah. We will tackle it. We will get ourselves through this period.
Yeah, fantastic. Any closing advice before we call this a day? Mark, any ideas about what people should be thinking about and working on?
Yeah, I think the most things you already told, and I think if people are getting bored enough, then something like this happens, that you just take some leftover foam board and build some scrappy scratch build planes. And yeah, I think everybody should find a good thing to work on, to spend their time, something that's useful. And I think we will get over that time.
Yeah, agree.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Darren, got some ideas?
I don't actually have, not really any ideas, but I did actually just think of a question for Arthur, which we didn't really ask with regards to Sweepwings. And obviously, you're still working on projects at the moment, like the Wukong, the INAV. But have you got any ideas for future planes once you've got those out of the way? Have you got any other ideas for what you might be building in the future? Well, sorry, where would you like to take StealthWings on the next step? That sort of.
Well, StealthWings should be my goal is to build silent airplanes, silent planes, who make any noise, hardly any noise, enjoyable, a good size, nice shape. That's why I have a variety of airplanes. I have wings, I have the twin, and I like the twin very much. Maybe I make different plans, twin with a V tail, or any idea the what is it? The thing, the I can't remember the name. I forgot the name. The Star Wars. What was it?
Oh, like TIE Fighter or X-wing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
designed by Porsche. That would be a nice one to fly with INAV. So yeah, future plans. There are enough future plans, but the future plans they are created during life, during development. So maybe if you ask me in 6 months, I have something new to tell you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Mark, you have a question?
Yeah, so your goal is mainly to get rings as silent as possible and as quiet as possible, and I think a big part of that is especially the selection of the correct propeller. And maybe we should get in touch about that after the call or later, because I would like to build a ring. Maybe I will even try it on that thing here. I have some props here from Racer Star. I know these are quad props, and most people hate them because of their poor performance and all that stuff. But they are extremely quiet. They have a very sleek design with
From the wingtips on the ends.
with these
the vectors on
with these vector wingtips, and they are pretty quiet. Did you try that out before?
Well, these are the relax. These have this. Oh wait.
Yeah.
They have the same vortex. What is it? And yeah, it works more or less. But my goal is the position on the plane and the KV all together to make a silent one. It's not only the propeller. It's
yeah, of course,
because there's also a difference between motors. T-modus used to be very silent motor, and other brands are less silent. So it's
I think go on.
Yeah, it's all together, the whole concept of make things silent. Yeah.
I think the T motors could be very silent because they have a very massive bell, a very heavy bell because of all the Titan shaft, and I think they have even steel bells, if I remember correctly, or some of them. And this extra rate, of course, will dampen down the ESC noise, the PWM noise, and so they get more silent. If you have, and I think that's the reason why, especially very small motors like the 1407 on the Dart 250G makes a lot of noise coming from the ESC if you're running on 2S, because then the PWM noise will be much stronger and the bell is more vibrating. So I think it could be helpful if you use quad motors and you have BA Heli on them, or BA Heli 32, for example. Maybe you could also try to change the PWM frequency to 48 kilohertz instead of the default 24 kilohertz. That could also make the plane even more silent.
Could be, yeah. That would be a nice experience for you. That you could dive deep into that.
Yeah, I think I would try that. One thing I'd like to see is we had a conversation with Andrew Newton, and the one plane that he talked about was the Sky Hunter. And he said it was a pretty simple design, but unfortunately, it was not, I guess, like the mini Sky Hunter, which I know mini sounds like it's going to be small, but it's actually, I think, a 1.2 meter wingspan. Or maybe, yeah, it's 1.2, I believe. And so it's a good plane, but unfortunately, the components on the plane are pretty cheap. and there's really no way to go back and fix them, once they break. And so people like the design, but it's not a really well-made plane, and that would be something that'd be kind of cool if you could make it out of EPP foam, or some derivative of it out of EPP foam, but also have it so that you can fix the booms when they break. And it's a pretty simple plane. It's just one main wing. I guess it's like this plane right here. One main wing, and then there's just a small...
there are some manufacturers who have those kind of planes, that design, who build them and sell them. Yeah.
Boomer planes is more okay. But to have one that was really well made, where you can get parts for it in case it breaks, so that you don't throw it away after one bad crash, or parts you can get yourself, like CF rods that you can just cut yourself if they break. That would be kind of interesting thing to come along with.
Yeah.
That's more of those tend to be long range planes for INAV. Mid-range, so the Mini is probably more like a mid-range plane, I would imagine.
I think so, yeah. But there are some developers or manufacturers who build those kind of planes, and I always strive to do something new, something different. So it's not in my line to produce the same airplane like that, because a lot of manufacturers already designed and built a plane like that. So
okay.
yeah, that's why I also choose the twin tractor with a V-tail, because there is no twin tractor with a V-tail on the market. So
yeah.
It showed up that it performs very well. So that's plus.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Anything, Darren? Think of anything that you'd like to see?
Not off the top of my head, no. Obviously, there's always the next big thing. I mean, a lot of people are looking into VTOL and stuff like that, but it doesn't really float my boat. But yeah, I mean, I quite like the look of the T-Tracks, but I think the bigger one would be more interesting to me.
The 120, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that would be a nice longer range platform, yeah.
And also, I do like the idea of the air brake rudders on the wings. So that on the what you're doing for the Ornif, that does sound really cool.
Yeah.
Especially the knife edging it.
Yeah.
So we'll keep our eyes on the T-Track. That looks like a fantastic plane. And Arthur, thank you so much for showing up today and taking time out of your busy family life to talk with us. Yeah. Really interesting what you're doing.
It's nice to be here. Yeah.
And now we've had everyone on here. Now we've had both the moderators and the group on here. We had Jason on like one of the first chat when we had like about 8 people. You remember that one? That was when Jesse was on.
3 hours long.
Yeah, it was a time. But you're part of the group moderator, and we're all very approachable. So if you have ideas or questions or anything else, Arthur, you just look under membership, and he's like one of the first 3 people to pop up. Hit him up with questions or comments or anything else like that. We'd definitely appreciate it.
No problem.
It's
It's
a small business too, and it's starting up, and it's big and it's scary and it's fun and it's everything right now. And so it's been working out well for you?
Yeah. It's working. Working fine. Yeah.
Okay. It's only been about 6 or 8 months, hasn't it?
Since I've working on the business
Since you first started selling the planes, I know you were working on it before that.
Yeah, that's almost a year now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's almost a year now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
The anniversary's coming up. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you guys
for being the mix master like normal. Darren, we wish you luck on your re-entry from outer space.
Yeah, hopefully I won't burn up.
Yeah, how is the Tang, by the way? Did you get enough of that?
Oh, plenty, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys.
And
well, thank you so much.
There's no toilet roll supply shortages up here either.
Oh, that's why they still have all the toilet paper with you, right?
Yeah, it's all on the space station.
They got like a 5-year supply. Someone hoarded it. Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.